What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com.
Here are my DFS picks for MLB Saturday, October 9th.
These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button
And hit that bell icon.
so you don't miss our new videos.
In this video, I'm going to go over my top DFS picks for today's MLB slate.
And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made.
Oh, and good news, guys. Make sure to stay tuned to the very end of this video because we removed the box that was popping up and blocking the lineup. So now you can see a full lineup using these picks that we made in this video if you stay to the very end. Okay, guys, we have a 2-game slate tonight. So let's take a look at the pitcher position. I like Brandon Woodruff pitching against the Atlanta Braves. Brandon Woodruff, he's only giving up a .546 OPS versus lefties, a .609 OPS versus righties, and a .566 OPS versus switch hitters. He's facing 3 lefties, 5 righties, and 1 switch hitter. And on top of that, the Braves have only hit 14 of his last 51 pitches. That's a .275 batting average. He's $10,000 FanDuel salary, $1,600 less on DraftKings, projected at 26.8 fantasy points here tonight, but I think he can score 30 fantasy points or more in this one. He has an ERA of 2.56. His record is 9-10 on the season, pitching an average of 94 pitches per game, averaging 38 fantasy points per game. He scored 15, 49, and 34 fantasy points in the last 3 games. And Vegas thinks there's going to be 7.5 runs scored in this game. That's their over-under. So I like Brandon Woodruff here versus the Atlanta Braves. Okay, let's take a look at the catcher first base position. I like Buster Posey with a 29% batting advantage over Julio Urias. Buster Posey is batting 21% better versus lefty pitchers, batting a 1.046 OPS versus lefties, and Julio Urias pitches 8% worse to righties as he does lefties, giving up a .625 OPS versus righties. Now, I like this pick because Buster Posey is 9 for 18, batting .500 with a 1.238 OPS versus Urias, and that's a pretty big sample size. He's $3,300 FanDuel salary, $900 more on DraftKings, projected at 9.2 fantasy points here tonight, averaging 10 fantasy points per game on the season. He scored 22 and 20 fantasy points in his last 2 games. So I like Buster Posey here versus Julio Urias. Okay, guys, it's time to announce the winner of our $25 weekly PayPal giveaway. And the winner is Clay Rushing. Clay Rushing, congratulations. You are the winner of this week's $25 PayPal giveaway. Please reply to our comment to collect your prize.
Before I continue with the picks, I'm excited today because we added a new contest for everyone watching.
If you want to enter the drawing for $25 PayPal,
all you need to do is like this video, hit that subscribe button, and make a quick comment below to be entered into the drawing. We'll reply to a random comment and let you know that you won.
And we'll send you $25 PayPal.
So it's that easy, and we pick a new winner every Saturday and announce them in our video. So get your comment in now so I can add another entry for you.
Okay, let's take a look at the second base position. I like Trea Turner with a, well, he doesn't have a batting advantage here, but he does have good batter versus pitcher matchup. So Trea Turner, he's batting a .857 OPS versus righties, and Kevin Gausman is giving up a .627 OPS versus righties. And I like this pick because Trea Turner is 7 for 19 with a .368 batting average and a .979 OPS versus Gausman. He's 4,100 FanDuel salary, 1,300 more on DraftKings, projected at 11.7 fantasy points here tonight, averaging 13 fantasy points per game on the season. He scored 0, 6, and 29 fantasy points in his last 3 games. So I like Trea Turner here versus Kevin Gausman. Now, if you want to save some salary at this position, this guy's got a small batting advantage here. Take a look at Kolten Wong with a 14% batting advantage over Max Fried. Kolten Wong is batting a little bit better versus lefty pitchers, batting a .731 OPS versus lefties. And Max Fried, he pitches his worst ball versus lefty batters, 13% worse than his other pitches, giving up a .748 OPS versus lefties. Kolten Wong is 1 for 1 versus Fried with a 3 OPS because that one hit was a double. He's 2,900 FanDuel salary, 900 more on DraftKings, projected at 10.2 fantasy points here tonight, averaging 10 fantasy points per game on the season. He scored 0, 0, and 19 fantasy points in his last 3 games. So I like Kolten Wong here versus Max Fried. Okay, let's take a look at the third base position. I like Justin Turner batting against Kevin Gausman. Justin Turner is batting 8% better versus righty pitchers, batting a .858 OPS versus righties. Kevin Gausman is giving up a .627 OPS versus righties. And I like this pick because Justin Turner is 6 for 16, batting a .375 batting average and a 1.349 OPS versus Gausman. So Justin Turner did let us down yesterday, scored 0 fantasy points. So I think he's going to bounce back here tonight. He's projected at 10.9 fantasy points. He's averaging 10 fantasy points per game on the season. So I like Justin Turner here versus Kevin Gausman.
Real quick, guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all of our DFS tools for all sports. You can try the Position Optimizer, where you can see the top players ranked for each position. And we added a new Player Trends tool, where you can see the top salary differences between FanDuel and DraftKings. It's a really good tool to help you pick out value for the site that you're playing on. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups.
Okay, let's take a look at the shortstop position. I like Corey Seager with a 14% batting advantage over Kevin Gausman. Corey Seager, he bats 4% better versus righty pitchers, batting a .888 OPS versus righties. And Kevin Gausman, he pitches his worst ball versus lefty batters, 10% worse than his other pitches, giving up a .694 OPS versus lefties. So I like this pick because Corey Seager is 3 for 7, batting a .429 batting average and a 1.171 OPS versus Gausman. He's 3,800 FanDuel salary. He's 1,100 more on DraftKings, projected at 12.4 fantasy points here tonight, averaging 11 fantasy points per game on the season. So I like Corey Seager here versus Kevin Gausman. Now, if you're looking for a value play, take a look at Dansby Swanson with a 31% batting advantage over Brandon Woodruff. Dansby Swanson is batting 21% better versus righty pitchers, batting a .809 OPS versus righties, and Brandon Woodruff throws his worst ball versus righty batters, 10% worse than his other pitches, giving up a .609 OPS versus righties. Dansby Swanson is 3 for 8, batting a .375 batting average and a 1.194 OPS versus Woodruff. And he's only $2,600 FanDuel salary, $600 more on DraftKings, projected at 9.1 fantasy points here tonight, averaging 10 fantasy points per game on the season. He scored 3, 3, and 0 fantasy points in the last 3 games. But I think he makes a pretty decent value play, so I like Dansby Swanson here versus Brandon Woodruff. Okay, moving on to the outfield position. I like Mookie Betts with a 17% batting advantage over Kevin Gausman. Mookie Betts is batting 27% better versus righty pitchers, batting a .966 OPS versus righties, and Kevin Gausman is giving up a .627 OPS versus righties. Now, I like this pick because Mookie Betts is 15 for 46, batting a .326 batting average and a .902 OPS versus Gausman. So that's a pretty decent batter versus pitcher matchup with a huge sample size. He's $3,600 FanDuel salary, $1,600 more on DraftKings, projected at 12.6 fantasy points here tonight, averaging 12 fantasy points per game on the season. He scored 6, 6, and 10 fantasy points in his last 3 games. So I like Mookie Betts here versus Kevin Gausman.
If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smiggity smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this NBA slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again, and good luck.